Let's talk about Git version control. So far, code has not been checked into the repository yet. Switching to GitHub, as you can see, the repository is currently empty. There are no files in it. Going back to dbt, let's do commit and sync. Commit and sync saves changes to local repository, pulls changes from the remote to sync with local changes, and then pushes changes to the remote repository. Hitting commit and sync, we type a commit message, initial commit changes. Okay. Since we have committed changes to the Git repository, let's make sure now the project exists in GitHub. Going to refresh in GitHub. As you can see, now we have all our folders, the files, the whole project out in GitHub. Now all the project team members can collaborate on the common source code from the repo. Let's talk about managed repository. If you do not already have a Git repository for your dbt project, you can let dbt cloud manage a repository for you. dbt cloud will host and manage this repository for you. Not recommended using a managed repository in a production environment, as you will not be able to use Git features like pull requests. Let's talk about merge conflicts. Merge conflicts in the dbt cloud ID often occurs when multiple users are simultaneously making edits to the same section in the same file. The merge conflict process provides users the ability to choose which lines of code they would like to preserve and commit. It's a built-in feature for dbt. Now I will demo on making changes to existing code process workflow. This is how team members collaborate on the common GitHub source code. Just a refresher, Git concept, we work off of local repository and make changes and then commit the changes to remote repository, which is the common source code repo for the source code team collaboration. Going back to dbt, create a branch, and we can name the branch we can make changes to some file. For example, I'm just making changes to my sources file, changing the description. For example, on the source one as test customer. Instead of customer, I'm just putting in test there, and I'm saving this. Once saved, I'm going to commit and sync. Again, I'm going to write additional changes, changed description, commit changes. Okay. Once the changes are commit, this is in our local branch. Now we need to make a pull request so that these changes will be deployed to GitHub main repository. So we create a pull request on GitHub, create a pull request. We can add additional description here, approved changes, create pull request. And then we'll do merge changes, confirm merge to main. Once we have deployed to GitHub, let's make sure the files do exist with the changes. Going back to the repository again, and we made a change in model customer folder under sources YAML. This is GitHub. As you can see now, the description is test customer now. So those are showing up on GitHub. To see changes if someone else had made changes to the main repo code, and we want to pull those changes in our local repository. We change branch to main, check out, pull from remote, and now we will be able to see those changes as well, which we pulled from the main repo. So for example, going back again to customers, I can see now the test changes. So this is like somebody else change in the main repository. We are trying to pull those changes back into our local repository.